Okay, well, services. We have welcome first, of course, to Janine, John, and Lloyd McMillan. Welcome to me. We have apologies from Gavin Oliver and Councillor Peter Burke on the accepted. Seconded Councillor Parker. Was the vote, please say aye. Against? Carried. Thank you. Special business. Any other special business for this meeting? Okay, minor nature. Something just needs a discussion. Okay. Conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest. Anything on the agenda that you feel conflicted by? The Chairman's report. The usual report is I've attended various meetings and I've spent time with Simon Leggett and Bill Steens and others as we've gone through the 6-week cycle. So there's always things ticking away as we go along. So I'll move my report be accepted. Second, Councillor Williams, or aye. Against? Carried. Thank you. Confirmation minutes on 6, obviously, is.
So moved.
So Councillor Williams, seconded Councillor Riley, all those in favour, please say aye. Against? Carried. Okay, moving on to reports on 7.1 on page 10, the YMCA South Canterbury Recovery Youth Services report to the 31st of December 2020. Now we have come forward, if you will, and indeed, come forward. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Now, Keith and Kath, welcome along. Full report. Leave it in your hands whether you wish to talk through the report or some questions at the end. In your hands.
Thank you, Councillor Lyon. We'll take the report as read. Obviously, there's a lot of marking going on throughout this community by Kath and her team. Probably just 2 things I would like to highlight. One is our community pop-ups in the play, active, recreation and sports space, where we've been delivering those in holiday programs, but now delivering those regularly 52 weeks a year, both in Temuka and Timaru, started at the beginning of 2021. So that's a new initiative for this report. And then I think the other thing that I'd probably just like to highlight is the work of youth and community development is always informed by the bigger picture and by youth voice. And I just really wanted to highlight that in this upcoming period, we're about to release or undertake a new biannual youth survey. So we've been running that since 2014. We'll hook in with your council staff to ensure that that youth survey is not only providing feedback in respect to attitude to the district and participation and health and wellbeing, but also factoring into economic strategy and also long-term council planning. So I'd like to think that in your next report, you'll get the outcome of that survey. Open to any questions.
Any questions, councillors?
The
Right.
programs you're running, Stephen, and so that what sort of support or attendance you guys do here? Say just school one day and it's clear that the many turning up. Yeah,
Yes, so it started off slow initially. There was none, and then we had 9, and we slowly arrived. So yeah, it's definitely we're turning out.
It's sort of, it gives a vibrance to the area that you're in too, so that's good. Excellent.
Thank you, Councillor Wills.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Just want to acknowledge the work, primarily around the driving instruction. How often is that get out as far as getting engagement with the community on all different spectrums? Is that something you're constantly needing to push out, or is there engagement coming back directly from those agencies?
Yeah, we're constantly inundated with demand. We have 120 scholarships funded. We are currently 65 scholarships into that process. We are just releasing another set of scholarships to a number of community agencies and schools throughout the district. I'm currently advertising for a 4th driving instructor. So demand is there, and I would expect that demand to continue in the foreseeable future.
Well, look, I just want to acknowledge that as well, because personally, I've had some people come up with competitive courses, and it's made a huge difference to their life. So just once again, I can acknowledge the magnificent contribution you've given to our community. So once again, thank you very much.
No further questions? Thank you, Your Worship.
So I actually just want to echo, it's not going to do this, but I echo what was said about the just recently across the country, a couple of years highlighted the restraint of in the areas around the ability to get people to drive licensing, and it was partly sitting with the agency, and they were, I think, waiting up to 3 months. And I know that isn't here as far as the wait, but it just shows you what importance it is for those youth across the country, and what it means to them to be able to have a license, whether it's access, potentially to a job. So it's really, really important work that we're doing. It's great to see the likes of Rachel and others and see it really is important. One step up sometimes can make a huge difference. So thank you for that.
Further questions? Look, thank you very much for your report, and thank you for the work that you do in the community. I appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we now move on to 2.2. Goodness gracious, all right. Mover for the report the report we received and noted. Councillor Riley, Councillor Booth, all those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. What would I do without Joe? Aye. What would I do? Now 7.2, getting excited. Right. Well, we're down. Just, I guess the same procedure, if there's things you wish to highlight through. Last question,
Good morning. As my report demonstrates, it was a year of 2 halves. What came to the fore was the staff resilience and the community resilience, and how we adapted our services to cater to them, whether it be having a greater digital presence, doing click and collect, still pick up physical books, and those sorts of things. We're learning to move forward from last year, learning from where our potential services can improve, and our community members who need different support. The other thing that came out of it was we were able to support local businesses through the refurbishment of the library, giving economic support level 3 for our local trades and suppliers. Also, we were able to condense 36 weeks of work into 8 to complete the project, even though we delayed the opening of the Timaru Library. And anyone who's visited probably realises how significant it is for our community. community room has made a huge difference, connecting with various groups, etc. That's the year that has been. All I can say is watch this space for the coming year. There's a lot of new initiatives that are in development. Once again, moving forward and connecting with different pockets of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Question, Darrell? Councillor Griffin.
Oh, Dale, thanks for that. Just one question on, I guess, people visiting libraries and books issued. Are we, because it was such a weird year, are we back on track where we used to be now? I just also know that e-books are going gangbusters.
I believe we are, and actually there is one mistake in the figures. The new members who joined the libraries, 1071, that was actually only digital online members. When you add the physical membership coming into the library, it comes up to 2015, which is in par with 2018. Take away 4 months for people to visit, we're certainly trending up.
Thank you.
Councillor Riley.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Steve, in your report there, which I really think is a great, is housebound borrowers, 71. Me, for us as a council, I think it's great that we were able to do that social service to some of the people in our community. 71 people that visit, and us all the social aspects of visiting them, going to them, taking them I commend you on that service. And again, with the great service that your staff do in Temuka, not just the library, the social service that they give to our community, and that people can go there with confidence. They know that they're going to get looked after, and so just again pass my thanks to the staff.
Workshop.
Yeah, really just like to echo Betty's, so Robert's words actually, and I think what the library supply for the worth cannot be measured by books alone is really important. And I spent a lot of time in the libraries of late, and the staff have just been amazingly welcoming, and really obvious the service that's provided, especially because of the commercial driven, really important. So commend you for your team and deliver for us. So thank you.
Councillor Booth.
The area libraries are evolving. And I guess I've been up to Christchurch and just the changes that you get. I guess that means that you've got a different type of people coming through the door for a clientele that perhaps never used to have because of what's, I guess, social issues. Is that right?
Most definitely. And adapting to the trends nationally, etc., with digital presence, what people need. The National Library Partnership has allowed us to explore even more with their assistance with finance as an outreach, which is connecting with the communities, helping with the workforce, building a more resilient team, digital presence, going around teaching people, providing free internet supply, and also heritage, which we'll be doing a Reconnect project, which will be telling the Timuka district story. So we're moving with the times on par, if not ahead of some of the other libraries.
So is it appropriate that that social aspect should be becoming the responsibility of the library? I mean, does that go in with the people that you would expect to normally be coming to visit, such as studying, using the resource?
Most definitely. It's a community hub. A lot of services are now not provided in the community. There'll be government services, so people come in and ask for assistance, filling out visas, forms, etc. The social or the economic impact on people allows people to have a safe place to come to. They're exploring new things, they're connecting with more people. There's the social aspect to it as well, and it covers all demographics, and we're an equal opportunity based place. So everybody has access.
If you get pushback on your regular users.
If anything, we're getting more people through the door because there's more opportunities.
Councillor Wells.
Through you, Mr. Chair, just in regards to on page 23, talk about being successful in receiving funding following positions. And there's 4 positions, 2 of them part-time as well. So are they going to become permanent positions, and or are they part-time permanent roles?
Okay. These roles are funded through to June 30th, 2022. And at that point, unless the National Library funds them further, they're actually just established. However, business cases will be made for their viability and what they've contributed moving forward.
Right, so that's come through the National Libraries Act funding.
Yes.
And obviously this bit of information report, there's some real connectivity that's come out of those roles.
Yes.
Well, that's really good to hear, that's positive. Thank you.
Well, Adele, thank you. Look, thank you for all you do, and the way you've got the new structured library running so well. I really echo Councillor Riley's at Toowoomba and works there. So thank you for all the things you do and the excitement you create in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'll move recommendations, of course.
Would you like me to move this?
Thank you. You're so verbatim. Second, that's the Wells. All in favour, please say aye. Go to Philip and South Canterbury Museum annual report. Maybe welcome, Philip. Same procedure. If you wish to talk through your report, highlight what you wish to do, and what else questions are you going on. Thank you, Philip. Welcome.
Mr. Chair, I assume that the report has been read. It's kind of cliche now to say that last year was a year unlike any other, but in many ways, I certainly believe we were fortunate here in our region because of the lower level of lockdown and the impact that it had. And when I look at the figures for the museum, yes, we took a hit in terms of uses of our programs and participation and so forth, and workflow in March and April. But compared to other museums around the country, and of course anywhere else in the world, our actual targets haven't been missed by much, as far as I can tell. The impact of COVID was certainly significant, but we found that we were able to connect with our community through online offerings, and very quickly it was stealing ideas from around the globe as to ways in which we can communicate with our community and with those further afield, and also ways in which we can work smarter, not being in the venue. It does seem odd because we think a museum is all about what's inside the building, but in actual fact, we have a wider view that our heritage is all around us, and that it's not just what we've got, but also who we're doing it for. Then we found that we were able to work and communicate more effectively than I would have anticipated some time earlier through digital media. So from that, we've certainly realised the value of making good use of social media and other external communication opportunities. And it just reiterated to me that the museum isn't just about objects; it's also a place of learning, and it's a place also of connection. In some ways, we connect people with heritage and get people even connecting with each other. And that certainly came through under better times with our programs. We have a variety of public programs running last year, school holiday programs, our Explorers Club talks, so the public talks in the museum, just large-scale events, whether it was the Heritage Alive event in conjunction with St Mary's Church, or the now annual, whether I like it or not, Richwood Rock event, which certainly a big demand for that. And also last year we started, cut short by COVID, but that picked up again. A partnership with Royal Society, bringing experts to Timaru to speak, and we actually use this very room because we cannot fit 100 people into the museum to talk. That will hopefully change in a couple of years' time venue, but certainly by using this venue, we've been able to capitalise on public interest in heritage events and subjects. And all of this, of course, means that we're gathering ideas for what we'll be doing in the future as we begin to think about an operating model and opportunities for the Heritage Hub and the sort of things that can be happening in there, not just about exhibitions, but also about public events, public programs to communicate and be a worthwhile facility for as many people as possible. Our collecting program is still continued, even under lockdown. I had my neighbour offer me something over the fence under very controlled circumstances, which I was glad to accept in New Zealand. An interesting item, a conscientious objectors medal from 1913, found in a garden. So you just know what's out there. But we generally, I've noticed that our collecting, we are becoming, I would argue, a bit more astute about what we're taking, and the rates of acquisition have gone down as we look carefully at what we require, the space our collections have, and what will be used in the future. Our exhibition program wasn't dramatically affected by COVID, apart from one touring exhibition from Sparta, which has been postponed. It will be coming here again in May. Exhibition called Paul's Birds, which looks at the artist, obviously the author produced. And apart from that, and what's seen in the report, I'd just say that last year, of course, was a major beginning for us with planning for the new project. I was delighted to be present when the Prime Minister was able to provide us with $6 million of shovel-ready funding. And of course, for my part in the that program has seen selection of the architects and major contractors last year, and of course this year as part of the Heritage Project team, Heritage Hub project team, here's a redevelopment team. So that's going to be a major part of our work moving forward over the next couple of years. We've got to think about a new building, we've got to think about new exhibitions, we've got to think about a new way of operating. And we've also got to think about how we're going to redevelop the existing building as a heritage collection resource centre. So 2020 was, again, a year unlike any other, but it was also a year of a lot of stuff that we've been doing before, and so a lot of new things, which seems to epitomise the last 32 years of my career. Any questions? Great, thank you.
No, we're coming in now. That's good.
I guess what comes in goes out the other end as well, or?
Yes, and Councillor Becky had asked this question before.
I know.
Certainly, we did carry out a deaccessioning program late last year, and we had identified some material in the collections that's no longer going to be of any use to anyone whatsoever, or it does not fit our collection policy. So, yeah, we are very mindful of the fact that any shelf in museum storage area is prime real estate, and anything that sits there has to earn the right to be there. So, yes, materials coming in. We're not throwing stuff out, but we are working with the collection policy and a procedure to identify material which will no longer be any use here.
Councillor Wills.
Through you, Mr. Chair, just in regards to the stuff that's going out the other way, required collections and further, is there an opportunity, say, for example, items identified, you go back to the public and go either sell them or auction them or whatever, just another way of gaining some revenue for the museum, but also to giving people the opportunity to get some collectibles?
Sure. The policy under our collection acquisitions and debt disposals policy and procedures there are that first of all, we will offer any item no longer wanted for collection back to the original donor or descendants where traceable. Secondly, that we will consider if there's a more appropriate home for public institution. So something that's come from a different region should go back to that region rather than stay here. But thirdly, if an item is no longer required by the family and it has some proceedings then be applied to cure the collection for that purpose or for further acquisition. So that's certainly an option that's available to us.
So has that opportunity arisen here in your time?
Yes, it has, and we have received some funds from sales of items through that.
Oh, wonderful, that's good news, thank you.
Councillor Cunningham.
I think I bought something, Jim. There's some, when you say a targeted policy and for the collection, someone's put to the argument that New Zealand have plenty of room to just focus on South Canterbury rather than New Zealand. Can you explain how the policy works?
Certainly, it is a geographical focus primarily, so Rangatahi and Waitaki helps see, and it's natural history, nature, building on heritage, European history, and social history today. Now, of course, not everything neatly fits some of those things, but generally, if you came to me and said, my grandfather had this item in Auckland and it's wonderful, we say, yes, it is, but it doesn't belong to Timaru. But if you said my grandfather moved to Timaru and had this item, and there's a story behind it that fits our local focus, then yes, we'll take it. So, we are no longer, in the past, the museum seemed to take a lot of old things, whereas these days, we focus more on the geographical region and the stories that relate to that. So we're no longer collecting Zulu static spears, but have got one in the collection for a very long time.
Thank you.
Looks like we're done. So thank you. And interestingly reminded that number, that 32, you're very familiar with it. You're a long time, haven't you? You've got to have tremendous patience because you need storage and all those things in the museum for quite some time. So the museum is moving into an exciting phase and into the very near future, and you're a big part of that. So thank you for that. So we're looking forward to exciting times and you landing the things that you've required for quite some time. So thank you. Thank you. So we'd like to move a recommendation. Worship. That's a good group. All those in favour, please say aye. Against. Carried. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to recreation facilities and report. Craig, welcome. You can just leave you with the same format, Craig.
Thanks. So yes, take the reports read. Up on the same theme, but obviously it was an interesting year. Last year, probably the three big things for my team and area: completion of the Te Muku Core project. It was a varied and extended time dealing with Italy. The work that my team did, civil defence and welfare during the close down, and then the resilience of our facilities bouncing back to fairly usual numbers immediately post our lockdowns, which was fantastic. Great credit to my team and how they deal with their customers. Questions?
Questions, Craig? Councillor Booth?
Recall we extended the swimming season
For this current season, yes.
so it hasn't really happened.
So normally we would be closing this coming Sunday in March. But it's been extended through to Monday, the 5th of May. To report to council.
As a regular user of the CLO, it's been doing really well. Start to be fantastic. Thank you.
No further questions? Craig, well, thank you for your report.
Just on that.
Much appreciated asset for the community. Really, and it's a big starting, issues for you to start forward. And thank you. Thank you.
Just one question through you.
Yeah,
just further to that, because obviously there was a argument to Hill concerning lifeguards, and then Council Brief raised the issue around closing early, possibly enough lifeguards. Has there had any further interest since it's been in the paper and to rejuggle those hours?
No, so the number of staff who are working overtime currently, I know this always happens at this time of year. We got interest from basically what we call schoolies, so 16, 17-year-olds were still at school, but they're only available sort of 3:30 onwards shifts, so adding on weekends doesn't cover us the rest of the time. So at the moment, we're really, really tight. If I have over full-time staff, then we go down sick or something. Probably have to close some, close some periods of time.
I'm sure Councillor Booth might want us to turn up in speedos and assist at some stage.
As long as he's got a current say, pass the swim test. Sounds like it's more people on this. Yeah.
All right, okay. Oh, thanks, Craig. Somebody can make a recommendation. Just go, Chris. Let's vote this one. Carried. Now we move to agenda item number 2.5, which is the Oakville Art Gallery annual report. Welcome, Cara. So we need you the same format, Cara.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I take the report. The Art Gallery is very proud of the role it plays in our community. Art helps us understand ourselves, reflects us and our community in the short this 2020 year. The place of healing, and like my colleagues expressed before, we have reached out during lockdown and through social media and helped our community through that way. So over the 18 exhibitions delivered, 12 of them were reflective of our community, so all South Canterbury artists or art groups and 4 collection shows and 4 national artists. So I think we have done amazingly well for any questions?
Questions of Cara? Councillor Peter?
Okay, just on the visitor numbers, I know we had COVID and 3 months out, but it's half the numbers, which seems a pretty dramatic drop. What would you put that down?
So during COVID, we normally have the Plunkett Art Show, which brings in about 2,000 visitors for the exhibition. We also cancelled Artarama as well, which also brings in 2,000 visitors during the time. We normally host art labs as well during the school holidays, and they were cancelled with COVID. So if you cast your mind back, I think we came out a little bit too in the middle of early June. So we were just adapting to the little changes there and wanting to keep people safe.
Thanks.
Councillor Wells?
Just in regards to the Friends of the Art Gallery,
Yes.
obviously they're a critical and important part of what you do and how you do it. I'm just often curious, when we look at what they actually support and how they give to the organisation, have you got a, or have you able to put a value added to that at this stage?
A monetary value. So they do.
No, I mean, as when we talk about monetary value, I mean, sort of value added. Yes, they make donations and help in various other ways, but interesting enough, is there a clear figure you could wrap around it about what their value is worth to the
They're great support people to us.
So couldn't directly put a value around it.
I think that's quite a difficult one to answer. Monetary, obviously, in terms of what they purchase and give to the gallery and session, but it's the support, the community involvement, the interest groups, the advocating they do on behalf of the gallery. Where they're really about to come into their own is the fundraising, community support for future projects or projects that are on.
Very much so. I just want to acknowledge the work they do. So it just actually goes unheralded sometimes. So it's a job well done.
Okay, no further questions? Thank you, Cara, and thank you for all you do. It's exciting times coming up. Where you are, it's good things going to happen soon. So thank you. Thank you. Somebody to move for recommendation, move his worship, second Councillor Booth, or else vote for say aye. Aye. Okay. Okay, well now, the committee will now go to public excluded for this report on the agenda, future items for West Land. Worship, seconded, Councillor Gilchrist, all those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against, carried.